This is lesson 13 in the 9 by 9 Kenken, and there's a few things I'd like to talk about before we actually start attacking cells. One of the reasons that I like Kenken is because it's relaxing. It helps relax my brain and puts it into a state where I can acquire insights as to math, insights into tactics in general, logic tactics, and insights into life in general. And the fact that I like to do it for relaxation and insights and reflection keeps me from doing it for speed. I'm really not interested in doing speed Kenken, although the more of these techniques you learn, the quicker you'll be. I just don't like to stress myself out about that. I really like to do it to be able to go into that sort of trance state where you're focusing on something intensely and reflecting upon it. So when I get to a stage like this where I really don't know the next tactic, I don't stress out. I just sort of relax and try to fill in some fairly easy squares to relax my mind. So like this 24, we know that although 2 is a factor of 24, you can't multiply 2 by anything to give you 24 that's lower than 9. In other words, if I multiply 2, I'd have to do it by 12, which won't fit into the square. But I can multiply 8 by 3 and 3 by 8. I can also multiply 4 by 6 and 6 by 4. That doesn't really help us eliminate anything anywhere else, but it keeps this kind of narrowed. What else is it? Oh, here's another 24, and we can do this the same exact way. 3 times 8, 8 times 3, 6 times 4, and 4 times 6. There was nothing to preclude us from writing any of those numbers here. We would only be blocked by a 9, and that's not affected, and there's nothing to preclude us here. So, excuse me. Let's go down further and try the 2. So we didn't get anything out of that necessarily, but we're filling in squares slowly, and as soon as all of these are filled in, that'll help us gain some quicker insights. And on the way to doing it, let's do it. We can't add a 1 and a 1 to get 2 because you can't have 2 1s in the same column. But you could multiply 1 by 2, and you could multiply 2 by 1. You could subtract this 1 from 3, and you could subtract that 1 from 3. You can divide 2 by 4 by 2. You can subtract 3 from 5. You can divide 6 by 3. You can subtract 7 from 5. I think I found something. Did you find it? We'll get to it in a sec. You can divide 8 by 4, or you could subtract 6 from this 8. And you can't put a 9 there because of this 9 here. Looking at that 7 and 5 made me realize something. Here's the next step that I would do. I like to work from left to right. I like to work systematically. I don't always. It's not necessary, but it's a good habit to get into. The same for doing math or attacking a lot of problems like this. It's a very linear kind of way to do it. But as you're doing it, if you don't strain yourself by saying, oh, I worked over on the right and then I worked over on the left and I'm filling in random stuff here, this way you get to concentrate, you don't get flustered, you don't get confused about your system. And while your system is flowing, that's when the lateral thinking or the intuition or the inspiration kicks in and you may find things. So while I was doing that very calmly and boringly, by the way, this is a 5. It looks like a 6. Now it looks like crap. Okay. We know in this 18 cage, we've used the 3. So these numbers must add to 15. Unless we're going to multiply. And I'll be crying too. But girl, you know